Hello, this is Ted Camper. I'm the TA for IS 4410 with Dr. Wagner. This is our virtualization lab. Some students are having some trouble getting things started and set up correctly, so I'm going to make a video to kind of show you here some of the basic steps. So the first thing you're going to want to do is navigate to ubuntu.com/download/desktop. From here, you'll have two options of versions to choose. I recommend choosing 18.10. When you click download, it should bring you to this page and you'll see the download start in the bottom left corner of your screen. It is about 1.8 gigabytes, so it'll take a good amount of time for this to download. So while your ISO file is downloading, feel free to grab something to drink or something and relax while it downloads. While you're downloading that, you'll also want to download VirtualBox by going to virtualbox.org. When you're here, you click on the big green button that says Download VirtualBox 6.0. Go ahead and click on that. You're going to choose the operating system you're running. This is a Windows computer, so I'm going to choose Windows. If you're running Macintosh, please click on OS X. I'm going to click on Windows for myself. So I'm going to cancel that because I've already downloaded them previously for creating this video. So what you'll see is when you go to your downloads, you'll see VirtualBox and Ubuntu inside of your downloads. In order to begin the installation, you'll simply double click on VirtualBox. A wizard will pop up guiding you through the installation. Just choose the default settings and you'll get through it all right. Once that is completed downloading, there should be an icon on your desktop for VirtualBox. It should look like this. Go ahead and click on it here. You'll get a window that looks like this, VirtualBox Manager. So to begin this lab and install Linux on your virtual machine, you're going to want to click on New. You're going to want to name it whatever you want to name it. I recommend My Cool Machine. Then you need to choose what system it is. Not the system you're running, but the system you're installing. In this instance, we're going to run Ubuntu. So we're going to go to Linux for the type. And then we're going to click on version and drag it down to Ubuntu 64-bit. If you do not see 64-bit on that list, please go back to the announcements and follow the troubleshooting steps for your system in order to resolve that issue. If you're still having an issue, please contact me, Ted Camper, your TA in this class, with a message on Canvas, and we'll try and connect to resolve this. I'm going to go ahead and click Next. You're going to need to allocate a certain amount of RAM. In this instance, the default is 1 gigabyte, which is 1024. If you know that your computer has more RAM than 4 gigabytes, you may choose to increase that number because the more RAM it has, the faster it will go. But you also can't choose too much that it affects your actual computer's performance. In my case, you'd see the green goes up quite a while here. So 2048 should be more than plenty for me, but you may just choose to leave it on the default if you don't know. Click Next, click Create. You don't need to change anything here. Click Next, click Next. This is asking how much space you want to give to the virtual hard disk. In this instance, you should be more than fine lowering that to 5 if you're concerned with how much space that you have, or make sure you type in gigabyte, not just 5. But the recommended amount is 10. Since I have more than enough space, I'm going to leave it at 10 gigabytes. Close enough. Let's click Create. Okay, cool. So we have the basic outline for the machine started. So once you see it says My Cool Machine powered off, make sure that it says the right name here. The system that you're installing, in our instance, it's Ubuntu. That looks correct to me, so we're going to go ahead and click Start. If any of those are off, you're going to want to right-click the machine, click remove, and start over. Didn't take too long, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal if you have to start over. So here we go. When you click start, Linux isn't actually installed yet. This is the part where you're installing it. Look for a startup disk. We downloaded the Linux file into our downloads. So we're going to go ahead and navigate to our downloads folder to find it. Ubuntu, start. If it's a little small because your monitor is big like it is for me, you can click on view, go down the virtual screen 1, and then scale it to 200%, and it'll be much easier to read. Otherwise, you just sit and wait for something to happen. As you can see Ubuntu, that's a good sign. That means we're moving forwards. Go ahead and close these windows up here just so we can see the screen. See the desktop starting to appear. It means it's time to do the installation. You're going to click on Install Ubuntu. We're going to go ahead and select English. However, if you speak another language, you may choose the other language if that makes it easier for you to complete the lab. I'm going to click Continue. You don't need to click on this box or anything else. You just leave it as this. Click Continue. Now it's okay for you to choose Erase Disk and install Ubuntu because there's nothing currently on the disk. So don't worry, you're not deleting anything. Click Continue. You do just have to be patient while this process is going. It's doing the best it can, I promise. You could see the little spinning icon right here. It's very similar to the hourglass or the lollipop on Mac, so that you'll be able to see that it is in fact loading still. You'll choose your time zone here to be Denver. You're going to put your name in here. The computer is going to be named Ted VirtualBox. Username, I'm just going to stick with Ted. You're going to choose a password. Make sure that you remember it. For this system, I'm just going to use password. Check marks mean that they match. We're going to go ahead and click Continue. You'll see this bar on the bottom of the screen fill up and start from the beginning over and over a few times. Once that's done, that's basically how you install Linux on your system. Follow the rest of the steps in the lab, and you should be able to complete it from here.